Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Tonight's topic is do you want to own land or do you want to lease land? And I guess it comes down to it all depends. It depends how deep pockets you have. If you've inherited a lot of money, or maybe you just walked into a lot of money some way. Maybe a good job in town, or you're very thrifty and was able to put back a lot of money. I'm not saying land ownership is a bad thing, because it certainly isn't. I would rather have my money invested in land than any kind of stocks that you can buy on the stock market any day. To give you an example, I've got a pretty good sized farm I've had leased for 20 years, and that landowner bought that in 2001 for about $1,400 an acre, and today it's worth right at $5,000, and that's in 19 years. So that's a pretty good return. But here's the deal: to make a good living on land, you have to run numbers in the livestock business. Now, if you're a gardener in a greenhouse, you can do it on an acre or whatever. But with livestock, you've got to have enough land that you can put several head out there. And you don't want to be in the commodity business. Build a niche for your animals that you can get. You can market them directly. You don't want to be selling them where everybody else is selling them, because you're not going to get very much for them. You got to build your own market. But on leasing versus owning, this particular farm, it was 160 acres, and we've had this in lease since 2003. Yeah, somewhere in there, 2002. Today, they're asking over $5,000 an acre for the land right across the road. And it's not near as good a farm as this one. So, if you just do $4,000, that's $640,000. Okay, there's 160 acres tied up. How are you going to go out and get the other? We've got 1,620. I still got to go get, buy another 1,400 acres. You can't do it. Not in raise livestock on it and make ends meet. And so for me, somebody that's just starting out, it's a no-brainer. If you don't have any equity, you don't have a lot of money, leasing makes a lot of sense. Now, we've been able to buy some farms as the livestock have generated sales, and we call it our livestock account. And we'll sell a nice bull like that, and some of that money goes into our land account. And when the animals generate enough money to buy the next farm, that's what we do. And so we do have some landowners that are getting elderly, and we've kind of talked with them. We know kind of where they're at. We get first dibs, either releasing it or maybe possibly buying it if that is an option. So later on, when you have animals that are generating income and can make your payments without going too far in debt, then I'm not against that. Ben and Isaac over there, they're putting out our bale tonight. We just given them one, and they got a beautiful piece of grass here tonight. So all that is giving them the dry matter. That's 2-year-old hay, by the way. It's got no alfalfa. It's got a fescue and orchard grass and a little bit of clover in it. But it's 2 years old. But the cows can go there. They're going to fill up on this green grass. It is the 1st of December. And these animals are making a good living for us on the land. But, if I had to make a payment on a $640,000 piece of property by selling calves in the fall, you're not going to have much left to live on, folks. So get your income generators, these, and get enough of them where you can, make a land payment or let them make the payment. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, but I'm not going to do that. I'd a lot rather lease land. And somebody made the comment, and I love your all's comments. Please keep them coming. He said, well, it looks like you put a lot of money in building ponds and removing brush and, doing things like that, putting in tire tanks, and it's on somebody else's property. Well, he's right. It is. But, you know, you only live one time, and it's my belief that if I do these things, I may have this property my whole life. On this particular farm, I think I will, because the landowner, she absolutely does not want to sell it. It's all she's got. It's a reminder of her dad. And so I think that's pretty cool. She's tied to the land emotionally. She's not going to sell it. She loves what we're doing, and so we're going to keep going forward. And so when you get somebody like that, you know, that's willing to give you that kind of commitment, I'm going to give them a commitment. I'm going to build a pond if I have to, if I don't have any water, which we didn't. And so we've got a pond now on this farm. There's no brush. We keep the brush clean on it. And, you know, it's a nice looking little farm. It used to be pretty run down, but it's not that way anymore. And it's providing a good living for us and our animals. And I'm not going to tell you what I have it leased for. That's nobody's business but mine and the landowners. But I can tell you this, it's a pretty reasonable lease, and it's a whole lot better than owning it. You can build your numbers, folks. That's what you got to do. You got to get your numbers up there. And if you go out and try and buy all the land at the very start, you're not going to be able to buy these. You won't have any money left. Banker's not going to go out and give you another $500,000 to buy these many animals to put on the land. He just gave you a loan to buy the land. So where are you going to get them? Probably not going to. So put your money into animals, lease the land starting out. This is my philosophy. Now, I know there's going to be people that argue about it, and that's fine. It's good old United States. It's a free place where we can think and we can exchange ideas, and that's how you learn and grow. So I think that's awesome. So yeah, I understand where the guy was coming from. You know, he's like, well, you're doing a lot of work out there, and there's no opportunity of you buying that back. It looks like maybe you just put a lot of money and work into nothing. But we don't feel that way, because we're making a good living on the land. And if I didn't have these lease farms, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing. And I don't want to go out and buy, you know, $6 million worth of land. I don't want to do that. I'd rather put it in livestock. And so that's what we're doing. Man, it's a beautiful evening. Ben and Isaac are done. They've got the dry matter spread out there for them. And we're buying time. This bottom, typically we only got half a day out of it. But by just putting that little bit of hay out there and then tightening them up like this, we're getting a full day. So we're basically doubling the time on the land that we did on our previous pass. So that's going to give us twice as much time to get around all the farms this winter. So by March, we're still going to have some of this stuff left. I think that's pretty cool, because, you know, in March is mud month in Missouri. You don't want to be stuck in March without any stockpile. You got to have some of this land like this to run your animals on. So got to stretch it out a little bit. But it's nice to be able to have it to stretch out, and that's because of the way Ben and Isaac and I graze. And Jan, you know, we give it enough time that we're not chewing it down to the ground. I don't remember a fall or early winter where our animals looked any better. I mean, they're just roly-poly. Makes you feel good when you see your animals nice and roly-poly and it's cold out. You know they're going to stay warm at night. Like animals that have a good fur coat, you know, nice hair coat on them, they're going to stay warm. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Everyone new to that channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out. I'd appreciate it. And that like. And we'll see you all on down the road.